Guys, it's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
Yeah, we're having sprint planning on Tuesday today because Lee wanted to play Fallout 4 all yesterday basically, so he just took the day off. Great, cool. But yeah, what were we up to?
Yeah, for me, we're doing a new art pass on the Sky Island, so I'll be doing lots of new assets to make it look a bit more in line with the rest of the game. So that should be the bulk of my week, hopefully. Unless it goes terribly wrong. But we'll see.
And yeah, for me, it's mostly store page stuff, so when I get the XXC store page out, because IC's already making a start on those levels. The Space DLC is wrapping up as well, that's coming out this week as well. And the next Colour Pixels DLC as well. Getting a start on that, and that'll be the bulk week after that as well, as they're making a start on the actual DLC for the Transport DLC. Because you've already got the assets, just going to make some of them look a bit nicer and then get that level ready to go.
Yeah, good stuff. And as for me, I'll be working on Skystead Ranch. We're making a Pokédex basically, so that should be fun. We need a better name for it than Pokédex. I think that's probably taken, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Okay, so it's Monday, just in the afternoon, just after lunch, and today's going to be quite an important day. We've decided that we want to make a new art pass over the Sky Island asset, and completely rework it, really, make it a bit more lively and a bit more with character. As the old version was built a year ago, and it didn't really convey what I wanted it to look like. So right now, I'm essentially building every rock individually, just making it a bit more low poly-esque and a bit more stylized. Definitely taking a while, but it's going to be definitely worth it at the end. It's going to look a lot more original and a lot more, well, just cool in general. So yeah, that's going to take a little while. As you can see, I've definitely reworked the island quite a bit. So you can see this is the original size of the island on the left here, and this is the new one. And we thought that the sort of mountain in the background was a bit too large, so we've compressed down a little bit and essentially merged all the islands into one. So it's essentially just one big floating rock. So yeah, hopefully by the end of the day, I would have made some progress.
Yeah, okay, so for the start of this week, I'm going to be working on Hexseed. So with this DLC that we're starting on, we need a new mechanic, and we've decided to go with kind of like a simple one. It's essentially, I think we're calling it the donut mechanic. I'll show you how it works here. It's this little tile in the middle. It's sort of like an adaptation to the radius and the ring mechanics that we've got. There you go. See why we call it a donut mechanic. But basically it extends one further than the radius, so we're hoping that we'll be able to do some interesting things with that. And we just decided to remove the middle, just so you're not counting like really, really big numbers if all of these are filled with bombs. So yeah, hopefully it should be fun. I just need to get a bit of testing done with it and then try and sort out the world layout.
Okay, so I'm about to head home, but I thought I'd give you a quick update on the progress that I made this afternoon. Definitely getting there. All these rocks have been hand sculpted using some bisect tools on edit mode, and it's coming on quite nicely. There's still a few things that I'm not happy with. Obviously it does look better than the original, but there's a few things that need tweaking. As you can see, some of these line work just doesn't line up very well. Obviously that's okay, it is rocks. So they're not going to be perfectly matched together, but there's a few bits that look a bit messy. As you can see here, there was a bit of the base mesh appearing through, but once I get rid of it, it doesn't look as bad. But yeah, the front is almost done, which is the main part that will be visible, which is of course the part that needs the most attention. So once I get essentially around the halfway point on both sides, I can relax a little bit and not have to worry too much about the back side of it. But yeah, hopefully tomorrow I'll get this finished, and then I can work on somehow trying to find a way to text this all together. I do want to find a way as well, I've been experimenting of finding ways to essentially align, fill in the gaps between these rocks. They're not necessarily gaps, they're just very harsh edges, and there is a way using the remesh tools in Blender that you can sort of make it look like there's clay in between them, but it does affect the poly count, so I'm going to be quite hesitant. So hopefully tomorrow I'll figure something out.
Yeah, okay, so working on Skystead stuff, the last major thing that I think that we need to be adding is the Pokédex. We're not calling it that, obviously. I think did we settle on Field Guide? Field Guide? Yeah. But basically, when you press tab, you've got all of this information about all the various creatures. The idea is that as you play the game, as you discover more about the creatures, then you basically upgrade. It's like you're filling it in yourself. So all the likes, dislikes, and things like that. So I just made a start on that today. So we've got these sort of like tabs, this notebook, all of these like silhouetted assets will upgrade, so it'll upgrade to a black and white version. I can actually just probably show you by backing out. It's going to upgrade to a black and white version, and then when you actually work out what the color version is, then it upgrades to color, stuff like that. And then the actual large page on the right is going to start filling up with information. So should be good, but it's going to take a while to get right, I think.
Okay, so made a lot of progress on the island today. As you can see, I've modelled all the rocks. It definitely took a long time, but at least now it looks a bit more handmade. But yeah, right now I sent it off to Rob to have a look at an engine, and there's a few tweaks that I want to make, so I'm just going around making them, which is essentially we just want to pull in some of these rocks a bit more, just so it looks like it's actually holding up the base of the island itself. But whilst Rob was having a look around in there, I did have a little experiment with the texturing side, just to see how it will look a bit more close to its final formal look. I'm definitely a lot more happy with it than I used to be. The colour definitely makes it look a bit nicer. I had to do a quick little render view as well with some ambient occlusion, just so how the shadows will hit those cracks a bit better.
So the big task today is to get the store page sent off for the transport book, which I've just done. I've just got it all set together now, got the screenshots, and I've created the assets you see there in the top right. And yeah, now it's going to be a case of getting through the rest of the images. So obviously a lot of the images here are just icons, so we do want to make some of them a bit more than that. So this train one, for example, and this hot air balloon, I've created a bit of a background for them. Won't be doing that for all of them, but just to have a bit of variety in the pack, we'll be adding some background to some of these images. And then it's just going to be a case of getting them all into the build and yeah, getting that tested and ready to go.
Okay, so there was a bit of a detour for me today. I was working on Wooloop, but I'm back on working on this Pokédex field guide that we've been working on. You can see it's starting to take shape. That's a bus, isn't it? Yeah, it's starting to take shape, so you can cycle through various different creatures. You can see we've got pictures on the right here. So the idea is that the more you learn about the creature, the more things will appear. So at the moment, this is all just like fully complete. So this picture will be more of like a sketched out version, then you unlock black and white, then you get color. And then there's various stats like the dislikes. These will be unlocked one at a time as you discover them, and think like extra stats like the weight and the size and stuff like that. And yeah, it's come along quite well. I've just been populating this little bit of text here. So this is actually a bit of text that's split up into several bits, and that way we can look basically like sentence at a time, and we can slowly fill it out to make a paragraph of information about the creature. And I've just been working through each of the creatures, just trying to get it set up. And you can see some of these last ones I haven't quite got there yet, but yeah, it's looking really good. I think the plan is for Jack at some point to fill in this gap here, just with some sort of like in detailed sketches of the creature itself. So for example, like Shelly here, he's got very distinctive shells, maybe some diagrams of the shell and maybe some of the antenna or something like that. And just to make it feel a bit more field guidey.
Okay, so as you can see, I've made a lot of progress with the island. I haven't completely finished yet, but I'm getting there. So the back doesn't need to contain as much detail as the front. As you can see, I've definitely spent a lot more time on the front, and to be honest, I'm probably going to add more. But I just want to get at least the basis done, so that at least Rob can at least look in game and see if everything looks right and all the scaling's correct. But yeah, I'm almost done. I just need to do this little segment down here to the bottom right. I'm not going to do this portion here, as we discussed that. I discussed with Rob that I probably shouldn't add this bit in case we add some of these areas here where the animals are contained. I don't want to overlap any areas, so I'm going to wait until those are in, until I model them, and then I'm going to finish it off. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. I'm really liking the cave entrance. I'm going to add a lot more down here, so it's a more detailed area, so the character can at least appreciate it up close. Okay, just a quick update. I really hope you can't hear that lawnmower outside. I'm working from home today, and I thought I'd give you a quick rundown of how the Sky Island is looking, and it's looking really good. It's actually coming along a lot faster than I thought it would, so I actually managed to finish the back. I think I showed this yesterday, this bit hadn't been filled in yet. I've done all of that, and right now I'm essentially just fine-tuning everything, and essentially what I really want to do today is define this river going down. So essentially there's going to be a waterfall here, and it's going to go down under the bridge and then fall off the side of the Sky Island here. And I really wanted to find this area. Looks a little plain right now. So as you can see, I've started the waterfall, and I'm going to do the same thing similar to how I did the cave system. Rob and Lee seem to like the way I blended it in, so I'm going to do the same thing here, and I'm going to try to find some rocks down here too, so it's peeking above the water surface a little bit. As you can see here, between our dividers of the island. You can also see that there's a gap there, which I'm going to fill in with some rocks and stuff, just to try to disguise it a little bit, so it doesn't look like there's a huge open hole in the side of the island. So yeah, I'm going to try to blend in some rocks to the side here and just make it look a bit more natural.
So yeah, as you can see, I've gone through the transport DLC. This is the next DLC for Conan Pixels. Hasn't actually been announced yet, and as I said in the previous vlog, this is sort of the one we discovered in the folder system that Rob paid for quite a while ago. So most of the images were just a case of a single icon on a open background like these ones down here, but I thought that's not going to be suitable for DLC, so I've gone and created little backgrounds for 5 of them as I showed off a bit yesterday, and now I've just gone through and playtested them all, and for the most part it's all been very minor changes. And yeah, that's the first pass of the book done, which is very quick turnaround for stuff it is, so that's quite good. Hopefully it doesn't mean the book's going to be a bit smaller. I might have to come back and add some backgrounds later to some of the extra images if we do think the book is small, but the icons themselves, so far so good. What I'm going to do now is get them re-imported, quickly check the changes I made, and then finish up the rest of the little bits I need doing to get the book ready for release.
Okay, so I've been working on a few things. I was working from home yesterday, so I basically just tried to buckle down and work on some UI stuff. So the field guide that I've been working on it's looking a lot different, as you can imagine. I basically spent yesterday trying to the moth just flew in my face. Where was I? Yeah, so I basically spent yesterday trying to revamp the whole UI of the game. We wanted to go with like sort of this like rustic, wooden, papery type of look, and I think it looks okay. The assets that I'm actually using, I don't like in particular, but it's sort of like a framework for us to build on later. So I think it's a good first pass. A couple of the other UI elements have changed as well. That looks quite nice. Particularly the shadow in the background there. And then if we talk to the shop, this is looking quite good as well. The little framework around where the picture will be and stuff like that. So it's a really nice step in the right direction. I do think it still needs some work. Yeah, so for today I'm working on a bit of a notification system. So one of the things that we're going to need for the game is just a little pop-up saying when events are happening so you don't miss out on anything. So you see that pop-up right there as it appeared. It basically notifying you that the shop's arriving, and here it comes. And you probably will have noticed that a notification appears when he leaves as well. And yeah, it's just a nice little thing.
Okay, so it's been quite a productive day for me so far. It's just past lunch, and today's focus is that I really want to focus on the house on the island. They're the one that you'll restructure and maybe upgrade as the game goes along. And right now I'm building the base model for it before anything gets added to it or upgraded. This is just going to be the base version, and it's coming along quite nicely. I want to try to keep it simple. The guys state that they want to have some sort of porch or something that breaks up the generic kind of square look to the house. Nothing too extravagant now, because I said this is the base version. But if I quickly go into edit mode, I can probably quickly draw what I'm thinking. Like I said, this is nothing locked down yet. So obviously we're going to have the door here, maybe have a window here and there. And I'm thinking I kind of want something to be on the side, maybe some objects. There's a few objects that I've made in the past, such as barrels and crates, so maybe I could have something there. But I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with the porch yet. I really want to have some form of bit more of an interesting way to get up to the door. So I'm playing around with the idea of having a sort of staircase that comes up this way and into the door. So I'm going to have a little play around. Right now though, I am just focusing on doing the detailing. So you can see I'm chiseling the stone to try and make it look a bit more weathered down. I'm going to add some more details. But once I get to that point, I'm definitely going to have to play around and try build some more interesting forms to try and bring out the design a bit more.
Yeah, most of the day's been pretty chill for Friday. It's mostly been store pages, so the transport DLC I finished up last night. So I've done all the little side tasks to go along with that, such as putting on the bundles, etc. And I've got the store page sent off to Valve. That's been approved and made live, which is good. As well as that, over on Hexseed, similar sort of story. Icy's already making a start on the levels, so I've got some screenshots and I've sent the store page off. This one's still waiting to be approved, hopefully that'll be done over the weekend. And then just now, I'm on the Urban DLC for the Wooloop DLC. So yeah, I've made all the assets here. It takes a bit longer for this one with them being in the different languages. But yeah, now it's just a case of getting all the different languages uploaded and put into the correct store pages for each corresponding language. So yeah, I'm going to carry on with this, and then we'll carry on from here. Rob,
Hello.
it's the weekend.
Yeah.
It's been a busy week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so make sure you check out all the DLC that we've got coming up. So we've got the Colour and Pixels Transport DLC that Lee's been working on a lot this week. That should be coming out soon, and the Wooloop Space Pack, which is coming out for this evening for us, 8 o'clock. It's already out for you guys. But yeah, also Wishlist Skystead. That store page is live now, which is really cool. And yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for all the patrons and stuff. I do believe that you're on holiday, right? You've got a holiday coming up. You've got to Greece.
Yep.
You're gonna come back so sunburned red. Yeah. So next devlog there'll be a gap, and then we're gonna do a double week special, I think, right?
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
Yeah. So no devlog next week, but week after, we're good. We're sorted. Thanks for watching.
Woo!